We live in an age of excess. Look around you. Look at your own life. We have more food than we can eat. We have more information than we can learn. We have more entertainment than we can watch. We are told that more is good. If you are hungry, eat until you cannot move. If you are tired, drink more caffeine. If you are sad, buy something new. But let me ask you a question. If we have so much, why do we feel so empty? Why are we so tired? You wake up and the fog is already there. You eat a heavy lunch and by 2 p.m., your brain shuts down. You feel heavy. You feel slow. Your body feels like a cage, not a vessel. We treat our bodies like trash cans, filling them to the brim, terrified of feeling even a moment of hunger. We are drowning in abundance, but in the southern islands of Japan, in a place called Okinawa, the old masters knew a secret. They live longer than almost anyone else on Earth. They are strong well into their 90s. Their minds are sharp like steel blades. They do not count calories. They do not have gym memberships. They follow a simple, ancient philosophy that changes everything. It is called Hara Hachi Bu. It translates to stomach 8 parts full. It sounds simple, but do not be fooled. This is not a diet. It is a discipline. It is a spiritual practice. It is the understanding that the space you leave empty is where your energy lives. The history of this concept goes back to the 12th century, rooted in the teachings of Confucius, but perfected by the Ryukyu people of Japan. They believed that to fill yourself completely is to invite death, but to leave a little space, that is to invite life. Today, we are going to dive deep into this philosophy. We will see how stopping at 80% can double your energy, sharpen your mind, and turn you into a modern warrior. But before we walk this path, I must ask you to make a choice. Most people will click away. They want a quick fix. They want a 10-second video. But you are here for the deep dive. You are here for wisdom. If you want to master your mind and body, click the subscribe button now. Join our community of thinkers and warriors. It's motivate us. And I want to hear from you. I want you to pause and answer this question in the comments below. When was the last time you felt truly light, sharp, and full of energy? What were you doing differently? Write your answer. Read the answers of others. Let us begin the journey. Let us travel back to the year 1640, to a small, secluded dojo in the mountains of Kyoto. Here lived a young samurai named Kenjiro. Kenjiro was a beast of a man. He was tall, with broad shoulders and arms thick with muscle. He was the strongest student in the dojo. He could lift stones that other men could not budge. When he swung his wooden sword, the air itself seemed to crack. But Kenjiro had a problem. He was always defeated. Not by strength, but by time. In the first minute of a fight, Kenjiro was terrifying. But as the fight went on, he would slow down. His breathing would become heavy. His movements, once fast, became sluggish. His mind would fog over. Kenjiro loved the pleasures of life. After training, he would sit at the low table. He would eat bowl after bowl of white rice. He would eat salted fish, pickled vegetables, and drink heavy sake. He ate until his belly was tight as a drum. He believed that to be strong, he had to consume. "I am a big man," he would say. "I need fuel for the fire." One rainy afternoon, Kenjiro challenged the master of the dojo, an old man named Sensei Hideo. Hideo was small. He looked frail. His skin was wrinkled like old paper. Kenjiro thought, "Today, I will win. I have eaten well. I am full of power." The match began. Kenjiro roared and charged. He swung his sword with all his might. The old master simply stepped to the side. Kenjiro swung again. The master ducked. For 10 minutes, Kenjiro attacked. He burned his energy like a wildfire. But slowly, the heaviness set in. The large meal Kenjiro had eaten sat in his stomach like a stone. His blood was busy digesting his food, not fueling his muscles. He felt sleepy. His reactions slowed. The old master saw this. With one swift motion, the master tapped Kenjiro on the forehead with his wooden sword. Thwack. Kenjiro fell to his knees, gasping for air, sweat pouring down his face. "Why?" Kenjiro wheezed. "I am stronger than you. I am younger. Why do I have no energy?" The master sat down and poured a cup of tea. He motioned for Kenjiro to sit. The master took a clay pitcher of water and a small cup. He started to pour water into the cup. He filled it to the brim. Then he kept pouring. The water overflowed. It spilled onto the table. It soaked the wooden mats. It made a mess. "You are this cup," the master said softly. "You fill yourself to the brim with food, with drink, with desire. You think you are adding fuel, but you are drowning the fire." Kenjiro looked at the spilled water. "But master, I must eat to have strength." The master smiled. "To eat is necessary. To overeat is a crime against the body. When the stomach is full, the spirit sleeps. When the stomach is slightly empty, the spirit is awake. It is hunting. It is sharp." The master gave Kenjiro a new rule. "From today, you will practice Hara Hachi Bu. When you eat, you will stop. When you no longer hear the growl of hunger, not when you are full. You will leave 2 parts empty. Those 2 empty parts are for the gods. They are for your kai, your energy." For the next year, Kenjiro struggled. It was painful. When he ate, his body screamed for more. The rice was delicious. The fish was savory. He wanted to finish the bowl. He wanted that heavy, warm feeling of being stuffed. But he remembered the spilled water. He put his chopsticks down early. He walked away from the table while he could still eat more. The first week, he felt angry. The second week, he felt light. By the 3rd month, something changed. Kenjiro woke up before the sun. He needed less sleep. During training, he did not tire. He felt a strange vibrating energy in his body because his body was not wasting energy on digesting massive meals. It gave that energy to his muscles and his mind. He was lighter, faster. He was no longer a heavy stone. He was the wind. 1 year later, he faced the master again. They fought for an hour. Kenjiro did not gasp. He did not slow down. His eyes remained wide and clear. He moved with the grace of a ghost. Finally, he stopped his sword 1 inch from the master's neck. The master bowed. "You have learned," the master said. "The power does not come from what you take in. The power comes from the space you leave behind." Kenjiro's story is not just a legend. It is biology. When you overeat, your body rushes blood to your digestive system. It triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. That is why you want to sleep after a big meal. You are sedating yourself. To reclaim your energy, you must apply Hara Hachi Bu in the modern world. Here is the practical guide. We will break this down into 4 steps. Chapter 1. The Disconnect. In the story, Kenjiro ate mindlessly. In the modern world, we eat distractedly. We watch TV, we scroll on our phones, we answer emails while we eat. When your brain is distracted, it cannot hear your stomach. You miss the signal that you are 80% full. You keep eating until you are 110% full. You must perform the disconnect ritual. For the next 7 days, when you eat, you do nothing else. No phone, no YouTube, no Netflix, no podcast. Just you And the food. Look at the food. Taste the texture. This sounds boring. It is meant to be. When you remove the distraction, you will suddenly notice when your body says, I am good. You will naturally stop sooner. Chapter 2. The 20-minute gap. There is a delay in the human body. It takes approximately 20 minutes for your stomach to send the signal to your brain that says, I am full. If you eat fast, you can shove 1,000 extra calories into your body during that 20-minute gap before your brain realizes what happened. You must slow down time. Put your fork or spoon down between every single bite. Chew, swallow, breathe. Then pick up the fork again. If you are eating with others, be the last person to finish. If you want seconds, you must wait 20 minutes. Set a timer if you have to. Usually, after 20 minutes, that urge to eat more will vanish. Chapter 3. The vessel size. The master showed Kenjiro the small cup. In our modern world, our cups have become buckets. Plates have grown 30% larger in the last 50 years. We are visual creatures. If we see a big empty plate with a small amount of food, our brain thinks we are starving. We feel deprived. Change the environment. Use smaller plates. Use smaller bowls. When you put a normal portion on a small plate, it looks abundant. It looks like a feast. Your eyes see a full plate, and your brain is satisfied. This is a psychological hack, but it works. You trick your brain into feeling satisfied with 80%. Chapter 4. Embrace the void. This is the hardest step. We are afraid of hunger. We treat hunger like an emergency. You say, I am hungry. I must fix this immediately. But the samurai knew that hunger is just a sensation. It is not an emergency. A little bit of hunger brings clarity. It brings focus. Reframe the feeling. When you finish a meal and you feel that you could eat a little bit more, stop. Sit with that feeling. Do not call it hunger. Call it lightness. Tell yourself, this empty space is where my energy comes from. This empty space is my focus. Learn to love the slight emptiness. That is the feeling of your body burning its own fat for fuel. That is the feeling of health. If you have made it this far into the video, you are rare. Most people left during the story. They went to find a video about a new burger or a funny cat. But you are still here. This means you are part of the 1% who actually wants to change. Do not let this just be a video you watched. Make it a code you live by. If you found value in this, please like the video so we can spread this message to lost souls. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We are building an army of the mind. Next, we often think that freedom means doing whatever we want, eating whatever we want, consuming whatever we want. But that is not freedom. That is slavery. You are a slave to your impulses. You are a slave to the dopamine. True freedom is discipline. True freedom is looking at a feast and having the power to say, I have had enough. When you master your stomach, you master your life. You take back your energy. You take back your focus. You stop being a heavy, tired passenger in your own body, and you become the driver. The path of Hara Hachi Bu is not easy. The modern world screams at you to consume. But you are not the modern world. You are timeless. Remember the lesson of the cup. Do not fill yourself to the brim. Leave space. Leave space for your breath. Leave space for your spirit. Leave space for your life. As the ancient proverb says, 8 parts full keeps the doctor away. Full to the brim invites the doctor to stay. The empty space is where the magic happens. Go now and be light.